Hey and welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. So this video, as you can see from the title, is that I have shot my first wedding. In one of my last videos I have said that, I think I said it anyway, that I was going to shoot a wedding and that I was going to use a 750, but that fell through. So I had to rely on the D3300 and the D3100, and it was an interesting experience. The wedding was a very small wedding and I got the most out of these two cameras, really pushing their limits and making sure that, I didn't go above sort of 800 ISO, and even at that, the 800 mark was getting a bit grainy. But luckily for me, I did use my flash. So towards the end of the night, my flash started running out of battery, so anytime that I did do a burst shot, it wouldn't like pop off every single time, and it was always outrunning the buffer. But it was a very enjoyable experience, and one thing I was really fretting about is the two lenses that I had with me at that point, which were the 18-55, which is the stock lens for most entry-level cameras, and the 50mm 1.8, two lenses that I was mainly running. I also had a 70-300, which I think I used for 4-5 shots or something, and I decided to retire. It wasn't working for me. But the night was, the atmosphere was great. The venue was very, very small, which was really handy to me because it was my first wedding. As I record this now, I'm currently editing the photos and they are looking really, really nice. And I was very, very surprised by the quality that I was getting out of a D3300 and an 18-55. With the 18-55 and a flash, the photos I was getting are looking so crisp. I've used professional gear in the past and I've used professional lenses in the past, and I do know that the detail and the sharpness, things like that, are just going to get that much better. I really can't wait to upgrade, and this was my foot in the door of wedding photography. So that's something I've always wanted to do. And now hopefully, with all this goes to plan, I've been hired for a wedding next year and another wedding next year. So that's two weddings next year that I'm shooting. And I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot coming from like other photographers who are booked up throughout the whole year. But for me, that's amazing, because that means that the more weddings I get, the more experience I get, the more pay that I get to upgrade camera equipment. I'm beyond shocked. As of this moment, I can't share any photos because they're not done yet, and I'm not sure what the bride and groom are going to say, as in like for sharing purposes. But once I do have those up, I'm going to be posting up on my Instagram, and I'm going to be posting the sneak peek on my Facebook, and I'm going to link them all down below anyway. I will be making like a part 2 or a continuation of this video once I have all the edit done on the photos, and I will be able to put them up on the screen, things like that. That's going to be probably the next video after this, so definitely stay tuned for those. One of the things that shocks me, and one of the things that to me is just crazy, is right before this wedding I done an extensive search onto wedding photography shot with a D3300, and it came up blank. People always said about the gear that they needed, and everyone was talking about things like a 750, a Z6 5D Mark III. Like I said in my last video, if I can do it on an entry-level camera, it's going to be an achievement for myself. And one of the reasons as well why I think I actually preferred shooting this wedding on an entry-level camera is because it's really testing myself as a photographer, and because I know that I can't write that ISO up past 800, and because of that I had to get creative and I had to lower the shutter, but I couldn't get it any lower than 1/250, because then that affected with the flash. It was then, if I bumped it up anymore, it was causing like a blind to go across because it was too fast for the actual flash. So apart from the ISO not being above 800 and the shutter speed not being able to go above 250 or 1/250, sorry, I definitely have my challenges, and that's why anytime I could do them outside or I could do it handheld, it was really, really handy. The way that I'm seeing this now is the images that I got from my camera and the images that I got from the 18-55, which is regarded as not like the sharpest lens, I'm like speechless as to like how sharp they actually are. Granted, they're not going to be as sharp as your 20-40-70 or your 70-200, things like that. It just kind of goes to show that you don't need the absolute top of the line gear. And one of the biggest reasons I'm making like this video as well is that if anyone has an entry level camera and has, you know, a standard lens and they did want to get into weddings, it's perfectly fine as long as you have a flash. The flash gives you that light and it just makes everything a lot clearer. If you know how to use a flash, you're pretty much golden. I was just bouncing the flash off the walls, I was bouncing off the roof, so everything kind of fell into place for me. The couple I shot were beyond nice, and they were just an absolute pleasure to be my first ever wedding. It's a bit strange to me that this video will, I can't say for definite, but it's going to be definitely the first video that I have seen on YouTube talking about shooting a full wedding on a D3300 or just shooting a wedding on an entry level camera. It's crazy to me that those videos aren't up, and I'm happy enough that I'm going to be one of the first to do it. It's just crazy. At the end of the wedding, I think I walked away with 3,500 photos, something like that. Once I got in, I spent one day like sifting through them to make sure that I could get the best ones that I will edit. So things like out of focus shots or photos with their eyes closed, they were all gone, and I got it down to 514, and that's the final batch, and that's what I'm currently editing. I'm really excited to see how they all turned out. I'm beyond happy, and I cannot wait to do it again. Thank you guys all so much for watching the video. If you want to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell for the part 2 that is going to come up. And if you want to follow any of my social medias, they will be all linked down below. And make sure to just leave, you know, a little like. And if you know someone who has an entry level camera and wants to get into the world of wedding photography, make sure to show them this video. And I will see you guys in about, I would say, 3 days. Cheers. Bye.